good evening, good evening, everybody. All three of you. Good evening, Debbie. How are you doing? Praise Jesus. Absolutely. Absolutely. He is so good. He is so good. Um, I have been, running around doing some stuff and taking care of a lot of things, with, like my kid and all that stuff, right? All regular stuff. And I and even during little storms, right? I know that everything's gonna be. I mean, I just feel like it's gonna be okay. And I never had peace like this before. I've never in my life have I ever been felt this peaceful. It's almost like the inside of my chest is the exact same weight as the air around it. It's like I don't. I close my eyes, I feel like my torso is just wind. And I don't know if that makes any sense, right? But for somebody that grew up when I grew up, I had a lot of anxiety. I couldn't tell you if I was happy 2 days in a row ever, you know. But um, but now God has given me so much joy and peace, way, way, way more than I ever like. If you would have told me that you know this, like 15 years ago, that I would be feeling this good, even on days where there's stressful stuff, right? I don't know if I'd have believed that. I would have, I knew that one day I was gonna die and I was gonna be comfortable. I didn't think I'd be living and feel this good. No way, no way. And that's not saying that bad things aren't happening, because they are, right? Life still happens. I mean, I could make an argument for there's a lot of things happening that are worse than before, you know. But it's like I don't know, just having God with you is just there's nothing better than that. And so if somebody's listening and they're not saved, right, and they're thinking about it, there is no better thing in the world than to feel secure knowing where you're gonna go when you die. This is just an amazing feeling, and I'm not trying to like say that to rub it into people that are having a hard time, um, you know, struggling with that. I'm just I'm just saying that when you're on the other side of that, when you finally get to the other side of that, it feels great, you know, and it's worth it. Just everything about God has been worth it in my life. I know that sounds funny, right? To even say it, right? Like everything that God has been involved in my life, right? Everything that I've done with God has been worth it. Yeah, I don't know if I can ever explain it any different. I guess when you're young and you don't even think about God at all. I mean, I was probably talking to God back then, but like I didn't think about like where I was gonna go when I died or any of that. I thought life was just it. you know, that's all you get, and then you're out of here. I had no idea that it was gonna be like this. So again, it's like it's crazy with these alerts or whatever. we're 6 minutes in again, right? And we were like close to that last time. It'll jump up like 4 or 5 like all at once, right? And then and then by like 25 minutes, right, which is like we're halfway done with the show. Poof, there's like 15 people in here. And you're like, why can't they say that the show is starting when it starts? But maybe because I'm late today. Sorry for being late, by the way. Sorry for being late to everybody. Um, Maybe by being late that everyone would be here. They would all be in here, but they're not. So, what's going on with you, Deb? Anything new today? I don't know if you're probably away from the keyboard, just listening. I need to fix the times where I think being later in the morning is going to be good. Like, um, I think, what was I saying about that? Oh yeah. I think that maybe 8 o'clock, so 11 on the East Coast is going to be good. Here, let me send out one more alert with the actual YouTube. See what happens, because it did help the last time I did that. That way, see, it says 8 over here, and on my thing it says 2. Isn't that crazy? Unbelievable, you know? Yeah, the numbers aren't right. It's only 2022. I got accused falsely of going into. Oh, you know what? He's. That's just horrible. There's nothing worse. Like, there's nothing worse than being accused of something that you didn't do. That's got to be the worst thing, worst feeling ever. And it's crazy, man. What did he say you were going in there to get? I mean, what could you possibly want from him? There is oh yeah, Michael's texting, right? But he's not here at the show. Okay. It's weird, right? You would think he'd be in here. It says he constantly accuses of stuff that doesn't happen. Oh yeah. Crazy, huh? He asked you that? Like he okay, so he asked you what you wanted in there and and you couldn't tell him? You didn't know? Oh, it's just crazy, man. So what's going on with you, Michael, man? Anything good? Anything I forget how they used to say it. What's good, baby? What's good? I'll tell you what's good. Jesus is good, right? The Lord Jesus Christ is good, and he sure did change my life. I don't deserve any of this. I don't even know how I even got here. I don't know how I got to where I am right now. And I feel what I feel inside, and sometimes I wonder if people can see it. You know, it's so big. Uh, but even if people can't see it in there, then it doesn't bother me. But I just, it's like so incredible that, I never would have believed it if someone told me about this. He says I can come on the show, but I'd rather talk about it off the show. Well, I'd rather drop the link, and I think that it would be okay. And we can also talk off the show, but I think we should talk about it here. And then also, Michael, afterwards, I know that I've been kind of like unavailable, right? Because I've had so much going on, especially with family and all that stuff, right? This is one of my favorite verses, right? Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. That's absolutely so amazing, right? Do I believe that? Absolutely. I absolutely believe that. Anything. All right, I'll drop the link and we're going to get into it, man. This is going to be good. All right. If anything happens, right, where like if you accidentally say something and I got to dump you or anything like that, there's no personal thing. It's just, protection from like, or whatever. It's not a personal thing if anything up here happens. I got to say that now because like people are starting to hold me accountable for what people say up here as if I believe what they believe, which I think is unfair. Like I have my own beliefs. And if let's say I like with Michael, I'm cool, right, with that. But like what if there's somebody that has all these wayward beliefs, man? I gotta pretend like I'm responsible for that. I would rather just say, well, I disagree. I disagree with that. Or whatever. But it is what it is, man. So the link is there, Michael. You can click on it. You can come up. We could talk about it. I think it's always better to do things, out in the open, in front of everybody, right? Like every time, and I probably do it too much because um, I think maybe people like take it the wrong way. But every time someone has like a complaint or a criticism that I think will help, um, I'm always like the next thing I say is, "Hey, let's go live. Let's go live right now, and you can confront me with that." But I think people are thinking that I'm like, I don't know, because it has a different, weird effect on people. Hello, Michael. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today, my brother?
Doing pretty good, man. How you doing?
My brother from another mother.
Man, I'm getting into some deep stuff today, man.
What's going? What Jeep stuff, huh? What's going
Yeah,
on,
pretty
man?
deep. Because I keep hearing everybody call like the Lord all these different names and stuff, man. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, where does that come from? Because they say in the world that like Jesus is a English name, right? Like it's derived from English, but it's not. If you look it up, it's not derived from English. It says origin Hebrew, and then it'll have down underneath that other names. Like how could it be the origin of Hebrew, but then also list other names for Hebrew? Then they don't have a J right in the Hebrew dictionary, which I believe that they purposely took out a long time ago. They took the J out in spite of him. You know,
Well, I mean, that's a little bit of speculation, maybe, right?
I don't think
What
so. I
I
don't
what
think so.
this is what
Reason
I
why
go by, right? Is that like the name Jesus has power in it, and I know that the name of God like affects things around me, right? And so there's no doubt that Jesus is good enough for me to use, right?
Right, right.
And
And like you
so
just
I'll say
said, you
this though,
said the name you
but
said the
also
name Jesus has
hold
power
on,
in it.
hold on. But also like Yeshua, right? There's like a manuscript evidence for that. But all this other stuff,
It's
man, I don't
not
like
in,
it, man. I think they
no,
do
it's
it so
not.
that they
The
don't have to
name,
say his name, you know?
the name Yeshua is not in the Bible at all.
No, like in
The name
the old.
Joshua, they like to use the name Joshua in the Bible and say that that means Yeshua. And I'm down for that. Like, yeah, the name Joshua could mean Yeshua, but that's not Jesus' name. That's Joshua's name.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of places like to avoid using that name.
Yeah, bro. In Acts 4:12, right? In Acts, he's addressing Israel. Like the apostle is addressing Israel, and he says that there is one name given amongst men in which we must be saved. There is no other name under, like, in heaven or in earth. There is no other name. There is one name. And most of the world, by fact, uses the name Jesus, not just America, but most of the world in Christianity alone use the name Jesus, bro. It's a fact.
Hmm. So what about for people that this is just a question, what about for people that are like reading in a different language? It's not going to be different.
Okay, they're reading in a different language,
Yeah.
but what do you mean by a different language?
So like I don't know, let's say I speak like Korean or something and I'm reading the Bible in Korean. Would it be different? I don't know.
You
I'm
see, I
asking
don't.
you.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I mean, how is it? We got to open up the Korean Bible, and what? I
Well,
mean, what do
that's
they
that's
say?
that's what I'm saying,
They
right? Like
is.
is there other things, right, that people use, other names that people use? Hey, can somebody do a search to see like if like in the Korean in a Korean Bible what the name of Jesus is? That would be something interesting to know, right? Like, what if it's because I've heard people say all kinds of names that are just like I'm like, wow, where'd you come up with that?
Yeah,
Like what? Like, there's no, I don't know where they got it.
yeah, it's weird.
And then they act like, oh yeah, this is the secret name, and you have to know this name or else you
But
can't be saved.
they specifically
Yeah,
say that
man.
Jesus is an English word. It's like an English name, bro, and it's not. Like I just Googled it, and it said like origin Hebrew. Like, hello, you know.
Yeah,
So
but what isn't it? What that's what I'm saying. Wasn't it spelled with a Y?
see, I don't know how they are saying it. See, I believe they took out the J, bro. Like a long time ago, they took out the J because in the Jewish Bible, only in the Jewish Bible, it says the name Yeshua, and we know that they hated Jesus, bro. So and like the who wrote the Jewish Bible, it was like part of his own translation and stuff, man.
Well, that would be the original manuscripts are in Hebrew.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird, man. It's
Because
just weird.
Moses was the first one to start writing the Bible, right?
It's weird how the Bible can say there's a name given above every name, but like how can like so many names be above every name? Like doesn't make sense to
I don't
me.
know. It's interesting for sure. I mean, I know a lot of people get into it, and there's all these. This is what I would say. I've seen the name Jesus work in my life, and so I'm going to use it. And it's in the only book that I trust in the world. And like you know, I think it's also like a sincerity of heart issue, right? Like if you are if you are sincere about what you're calling God, right? He knows, right? He knows.
Yeah,
See, I like what Mark says right there. That's a good name right there. I'll put it
yeah,
up on the thing.
I agree.
No, I agree with that because
I mean, you got if you break down the name Jesus, right? It's Jesus, like us, like everyone under him, like it's so much more powerful. Like there is no like where I mean I don't see the power in any other name, bro. Like it just has power, and you know it.
Yeah, because there's times when like weird stuff is going on around me, and I start talking about Jesus, and all that goes away, and I'm like, okay, this is even when people are like arguing or getting unsettled, and start talking about it, even stuff like that starts to settle down. Like,
Yeah,
okay, all right, nothing, nothing wrong with that. And see, here's the thing, right? Like, if you're okay, this is why I'm always gonna say Jesus, right? Because the only book I trust, or the only source of truth I trust in the world, is the Bible.
yes,
I mean, that's it. That's all
yeah.
the truth is in there.
And
And
see, that's
so I'm not going to take one word out of there and say, okay, well, this whole book is true except for this or that, right? Uh, no way, man. Because then, if one word is not right, if one word is not right, but then the whole, I mean, how do I know which word it is? Like, all of it is messed up now, right?
yeah. And specifically, the Bible says that an angel was the one that gave him his name, right? Like an angel gave the name. Like, why doesn't it say like the angel gave many different names for the whole world?
Well, I
Like,
think the whole idea is that in different languages there's different names or something. I think that's what the original thing. But people do take it to like this extreme.
yeah, I don't
Where
know,
they
man.
say, well, this the
I
one
don't
name
see
is
the
the
name.
only name that can work or whatever. Like
I don't look
Emmanuel,
I don't look at the
right?
name coming from like America. Like people say, yeah, that's just the English name. It comes from America. That's what you guys call them. Well, like I don't look at it that way. I look at it as a name that was given not from this world. Like it didn't come from this world at all.
I
It's
like
not a
that.
name from this world. Yeah.
I like that. It's not from this world. He's not from this. I mean, he is, but he's not, right? I could
Yeah.
talk about him all day long, every day, for the rest of my life. And I never get tired of it.
Yep.
Such a strange phenomenon, man, because like before that, I was never interested in anything for that long, really, not even my own life. And now thinking just like that, all my hope. He's all my hope.
Yeah. Mine too, man.
I mean, think about our lives, right? Like, I mean, there's nothing without him. Nothing worth anything, that's for sure. So what do you think when Marcus saying right here, Emmanuel, right? God with
Yeah.
us,
See.
right?
Yeah. That name Emmanuel is an interpretation as a prophecy that God with us, in the flesh.
Yeah. But I mean, there's other names that like people have used, right?
That's what that was. Yeah, that's what that was meant for an interpretation for us to understand, bro. Like what it truly is, what's going on there.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I was around back in the day. I really do. Like that during that time, I wish, man, I would give anything to be one of the 12. You know what I mean? I would give anything, anything, man, just to be in that group.
Yeah.
You know, some people want to win the lottery. Some people want to be famous or whatever, be some kind of celebrity. No way, man. I would rather. I mean, what? None of that is worth anything. But like, one day we're gonna be on the other side of this, where sin can't get to us, right? And not our own sin, not anybody else's sin, nothing, right?
Yeah.
Incorruptible. I would like to be
Yeah.
one of the
I
11.
want
Yes, you're right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I,
One of the 11, not one of the 12. I don't want
I
to be
want to get
Judas,
something
right?
straight here. I want to get something straight here too, bro. Like I don't call the name. I don't call on the name Jesus because it's American or it's English. Like I don't call on the name
Right.
because of that. Like if I was doing that, I mean, I would want to call him by his real name. So I would want to go to the Hebrew, as they say, and say Yeshua because it's a better form. It's not from English or whatever they say. But I call on his name because that is the power. That is the name that has the power, bro, and I know it.
Yeah. I call on him because I need him.
Yes, sir. That's the name, bro.
Well, see, I've even seen people like that are like they do like the Bible debates, right? And then they just basically they open up and say, "Oh yeah, like you've been doing blasphemy this whole time," and then I've even seen one guy. He had like the name of God written on a piece of paper. He couldn't even say it. He was like, "Here, this is it right here." And if you don't know this name, you can't be saved. And I'm like, "Oh no, the God I know would never give you no riddle that you got to find out." Like, if you want to be saved, he doesn't. The God I know doesn't play games. If you want to be saved, you could be saved, right? There's a way to do it. It's not some impossible thing where you gotta find it. That's I mean, okay, seek certain things, right, to show yourself approved, but it's not some kind of riddle or puzzle that you got to figure out, and that determines whether or not you're saved or not. That's to me, that's crazy. Let me read this verse real quick. First Peter chapter 1 verse 12. Unto whom it was revealed that not unto themselves but unto us they did minister the things which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the gospel unto you with the holy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I missed the next part of it.
What is that? First Peter.
Yeah, First Peter chapter 1 verse 12. And yeah. Is that all of it? That can't be all of it. First Peter chapter 1 verse 12. Maybe he posted the other part up here. What's up, guys, man? Look, now people are starting to roll in here. It's weird because like the first like 5 or 6 minutes, man, is like no, like it's just dead, man. And then it like shoots up. It's like definitely, definitely strange that like how the alerts work nowadays. But I have noticed this: the later the time, the better. Like just the better, and it not only like it's just like a different vibe. You know what I mean? Like a different like there's no arguing or dissension or any of that, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Like I know that it probably has nothing to do with the time, but it's like just strange that it's working out that way. Maybe it's a coincidence, right? There are two things happening at the same time. Michael.
Yep.
Okay. Well, at least I could almost hear you. I can almost hear you better now than when you're just on the regular phone.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's YouTube, man. I'm not using that application, Wi-Fi calling or whatever.
Okay. And so, what else have you been doing today? You get involved in any other adventures today, man? Because I always think of you, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, he's probably getting involved in something, man. Probably in some
Like
debate somewhere, like
date, man. I mean, like I don't
in the
know,
living
man. Like,
room,
I'm
right?
not.
In the living room,
Like,
talking to a family member or on the phone talking to somebody.
no, I'm not doing that, man. Like when I'm by myself, when I'm not,
Not in a bad way, you know what I mean?
whatever. Like, I mean, I've been talking to Stephanie today. Like we've been having a pretty good chat, man. Just back and forth, trying to figure things out. Um, but other than that, man, I'm just like, you know, hoping in the Lord, man, waiting on Him. You know,
Well, like
being
today, right? Like everything started with a verse about I was thinking already about like thoughts and how that like affects how I feel, like the things I'm thinking about. And then Stephanie sent me a verse, right, about almost about that, right? It was something about keeping your thoughts captive and, making sure that they, serve Jesus, right? Like are my thoughts, something like to that effect.
Yeah.
And it all starts with what you think, right? Like you think a thought, right? Then you feel a feeling, and then you go and do something on that feeling, right? And so if you start your thoughts and they are captive and they are serving God, then you're going to do things, you're going to feel a certain way, right? That's and then you're going to serve God in that way, right? I mean, that's the way I read the verse, right? And I was like, wow, man, that's interesting, because if I only think about things that are edifying to God or edifying to each other or whatever, then I'm only gonna do things that
We
are
we,
that are
we
good,
can't
basically.
like here's one thing that like I had to come out of, right? So like before, like I was so focused on being a servant, right? Like wanting to serve God, and like I was, I was getting like, I don't know, like insecure that I'm not doing enough, and then feeling like in shame and stuff and guilt because I'm just like not doing good enough and all that. And it's like, Jesus made it clear, man. Like he doesn't even call us servants, man. He calls us friends. And it's better,
Yeah,
like when Martha and Mary, like, Martha, she was doing all the work, cooking and taking her eyes off the Lord, while Mary was sitting at his feet and learning from him, man, like being his friend, like being, just wanting to hear from him, man. And like
faith over works, right?
that right
Because
there,
what
just,
what Mary had, nobody could take that from her.
yeah, it's so much better, man. And it's so much like easier, because then I'm not like trying to force myself to do all this stuff, man. That's,
I mean, I've been
that.
I've gone through that where I feel like I'm not doing enough, or I can't do it well enough, or the flesh is in the way. I'm tired, or I'm hungry, or these things are just nagging me, and I just want to serve God better, right? But the reality is that in this body, I'll never will never will never match up to what we want to do, right? So, and you're right. We are friends, right? We're more than that, even. I know that's scripture, one for one he calls us friends, but we're family, right? We're part of each other.
Yeah, see, that's a lot better. Like it's more loving, more accepting, and easier, man. And then it's not really hard to go out and work because it just naturally comes, you know, by love.
So what do you think about these names right here that Alex has right here? Yeshua and Yehoshua.
Yeah, see, it means Joshua, man, which is, see, I don't understand that, man. Like, it don't make sense to me
Yeah. I
because
think it's just
Joshua, for
another
one,
way
like
that they can
Joshua is an
avoid
English
saying that
name,
name
right?
so that they could talk
Hold
about him,
on.
right?
Like Joshua is a name that, we use in English. Why not just call him Joshua?
No. Oh, that makes me cringe, right? Just hearing that.
I mean, yeah, but that would make sense, right?
I guess, man. I don't know what makes sense. I just know that Jesus works for me. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know why anyone
Like
would change that, right? Because like
like
it's in the Bible. Like you think God's gonna hold me accountable for something outside of the Bible? You know?
yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
mean, if this is the information that I got, right? Then then I mean, what is he gonna say? Oh, you didn't find the magical special name, Steven, so forget it. You're out. That's crazy to me, man. To even think about that. Like that's so far off from the way God is, right? That it I look at it. So this is what I do when someone tells me something. I think, okay, well, what how what's God's like? What's his personality? Even go back to the Old Testament. Like, what are things that God would do? Right? Is the thing that the person's telling me, is that something God would do? Like you know how how those bracelets and the necklaces. What would Jesus do? Well, if I can't
Yeah.
picture him doing it, right, then there's something up with that. And there definitely has to be love behind it too. No matter how harsh the news, or how even things that will like be very convicting to me, like there's always going to be love behind it. Some way to make it better for me or other people or whatever, right? The love
Yeah.
is going to be there, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh
so
yeah.
because God doesn't make rules just to make rules, right? It's to benefit us,
Yeah, it's
you
true.
know.
Yeah.
So when he said, I don't know, like back in the Old Testament, when he said, "Don't eat a pig" or whatever, it's because it would make us sick, you know. Not
Yeah.
because, oh yeah, you can't have this, ooh, you can't get it, you know, for no reason, right?
But what's wrong with eating pork now?
No, nothing. I mean, what did Paul say, right?
Yeah.
It's all good now. I don't eat that much of it, but I like it. I'm not really a meat eater, but I do eat meat. I enjoy it, just not a lot. Now I'm afraid, right? I'm afraid of what they got at the store now. No, I'm not really afraid, right? But like, there's someone said the other day, I forget what they said to me, man. They mentioned some kind of food that I've never even heard before. I'm like, what is? Has that always been a food? And it was um turkey tails, man. You ever heard of turkey tails?
No. What is that?
It's a type of meat. It's some kind of like,
People
it's
get too exotic,
not really
man.
nutritious. It's kind of fatty. It's like a, I don't know, you fry them up or whatever. They're, I don't know. It would be like kind of southern-ish, I guess. I would
Yeah.
say
It's like a new
turkey
thing
tails. I
now
never
that
even
they're
heard of
bringing
that.
in. Have you ever heard of like food porn? Like they're even doing that now, where it's like lusting
Yeah,
over
that's
food
crazy,
and
man.
like, yeah, it's weird, man. Like, what is going
It is
on?
just absolutely crazy. I don't even know what to eat anymore. At nothing is food like, because somebody was saying, oh yeah, I was watching this video that this one guy did. He's not a Christian guy, but he's normally good at breaking down like the events on the news and stuff. So once in a while I'll watch his stuff, and he was saying that back in the day, right, like vegetables were like the dirt cheap, like a head of lettuce was like 80 cents, and carrots and tomatoes, you get 5 tomatoes for like $1 something, I mean, it was like all this fresh food. And then but like what you wanted when you were a kid was, oh, let me get those Doritos, and Doritos were expensive. You couldn't have snacks because they're too much. But now the snacks are cheap, and the vegetables are expensive. You can't get them. You can't. Now you get 5 tomatoes. It's like $10 or some crazy amount of money for nutritious food or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, that's
And
true.
think about this, right? If you have a pineapple, right? Then what does it grow on a tree? Okay, for free. Now, fruit is going to grow regardless if there's money in the world or not, right? And so it costs nothing to make a pineapple, right? Except for you gotta have the space and the tree, right? I get all that, right? But on its base, right? If you have a pineapple, something, a pineapple tree or whatever they come from, a pineapple is free, right? Now, to create a chemical in somebody's basement that tastes like pineapple, this artificial, it's like, oh hey, Bob created something that tastes like pineapple. Let's put it in a soda and drink it, and it tastes like pineapple. Now, you would think it would cost way more money to make that chemical compound that tastes like pineapple. But a smoothie, right, with fresh pineapple is going to be like probably 5, 6, 7 bucks, right?
Yeah,
And a pineapple artificial soda is like 45 cents, right? That's
yeah,
insane to me, man. and the crowd goes
Yeah,
silent.
it's only gonna get, man. I mean, prices and all that stuff. I don't get involved
No, but
in
why
like
is this is my point, right? Why is the poison food uh cheaper
cheaper.
when
Yeah,
it's more
cheaper. It's
expensive to
junk.
make?
I have no idea, man. Like that is a good point. Like, yeah, I don't know because
Yeah,
you
it
can get
costs
like
more to make
you
an
can go
artificial pineapple taste
you can
than
go
to
to the
grow a
dollar
pineapple.
store. I mean, you can buy junk that lasts for days, bro. It's all like $2 or a dollar or whatever, and yeah, it's true.
I mean, I don't know, man. I can't wait till the Lord gets back here, man. I bet I don't even know if we'll probably not have to eat anymore, but I bet we could if we want. And it like fruit will taste so good.
Yeah,
I
for
can't wait
sure.
for that. Real food with it's not been messed with.
Yeah, but I don't worry about all that stuff, man. Food being messed with and what not to eat and what to eat and what's poisonous,
Yeah.
what ain't. Like I just
Yeah.
believe that it's all good. Like it's all right. It's it
I
can't
just
ruin
want
me. It can't do anything to me, man. The only thing that ruins me is, my own flesh and my heart. So,
yeah.
and I'm trying to, get rid of all, you know,
He
get
gives
rid of
us a
that
way
junk. And,
to resist the devil, right?
yeah, put
We're
on
not
Christ,
tempted
man,
beyond
and be
what we can go ahead.
and walk in the spirit, and like I don't have to worry about, wanting anything or have any fear or, you know, um, any concern or anxiety about what people want to say about me being saved or not saved or whatever doctrine they want to throw at me, bro. Like I'll just know, and I'll know it's Him, and I'll know I live in Him, and you know,
Well, like I mean, isn't that like a? This is what I never understood about that. Isn't that like a personal thing, right? Like where I mean, you would know like what your experience with God is during that process, right? Like you would know the things that increased your faith a lot, or the things that made you feel sure of yourself, like the times
well, His
that
love, does that.
you felt closer to God or had open communication, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Like, why would
His
anyone else
love.
know any of that? You know?
He's always welcoming me with open arms and not like judgment and like
Yeah,
he's always there. Like, it's not like I gotta put away all this stuff first before he's there for me. No, he's there. He just is. Like
yeah.
and you know, sometimes I get stumbled by what others say and stuff and not having the Nikes like they got the Nikes or whatever. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Well, we are in the end times, right? And there's going to be a lot of different, crazy things that people are going to be believing in, right? And even like seemingly, like you're thinking seemingly good people, right? This is what I'm afraid of, right? I try to keep my head in reality all the time, right? Like, I mean, I don't go outside and have a life or anything like that, right? I stay pretty isolated, which isn't fun. It's fun for me, but it doesn't seem fun, right? And so this is my fear as I see. Sometimes I'll see people that buy into you know a delusion that's really not quite true, and then I see them them leave or whatever, move on, and I'm like, oh man, I hope that they're not falling off, right? Because it's hard to keep my own head in reality. To like this is what it's supposed to be, right? And then to see somebody differ from that so much so that they're opposed to what I'm saying, it makes me feel like, well, if you're opposed, like 100% opposed to what I'm saying, that's not a good thing, man. Like, I mean, I don't know what to say to somebody. I'm not the judge of that, right? Of like what I just can only do what I do, right? And then if people don't see it, that's all. I mean, because it's not something you can boast about, right? It's not. Nobody does it better than anybody else, right? It's not like that. There's
yeah,
the right way and there's not the right way,
and that's
right?
the problem. Like that's the problem in the church right now, man, is
Yeah,
division, who's
yeah,
better, and, you know, that's what's going on. And like Like the Bible makes it clear, man. There's no difference between a servant and a child, according to according to the hair, the promise, by grace, and like there is no partiality or anything like that. So not like about that. It's not about who's got more things and money and looks good and who's poor and all that stuff, man. Like we're all equal.
Just gotta hold on to reality as hard as you can. Don't let any truth like leave you. And then you just hope, right? You just hope for people like when you see like a certain split or something like that, you're like, oh, don't be on the wrong side of that. Do what you want. Like my heart is open. Anybody could come back, right? And I'm cool with that, right? It's but it hurts me, right? Because my heart is with them, My heart is
Yeah.
with them. And some people just move on because it's just better for them, to move on. And it's just they outgrow what we're doing here.
Is that Cindy back?
Yep, yep.
Well, that's
Hey, Cindy.
awesome. I love
Yeah.
that. That makes me feel good right there. Perfect.
See?
That's just what I needed. Just what the doctor ordered right now.
Yeah, that's good. Oh man, I've been having one of those days. It's like not bad, not like, oh, I've had one of those days, not like that. More like it's just been interesting. It's had like twists and turns and that kind of thing. And there's like some things I never thought I would ever have to deal with, and then some things that um I've never thought that I would ever like achieve or get or have, right? Like and it's like I don't know, I'm so grateful, and then like God keeps trusting me with more responsibility, and then there's the stuff going on with family and all that, and just like what a whirlwind, But it doesn't have to be. You could be at peace through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. It's time to hit that old dusty trail. And so I'm grateful for you coming up here, Michael. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Pleasure.
sir.
And I'll talk to you later tonight. And welcome back, Cindy. Nice to see you. Thank you guys for coming, everybody. And I mean, we had another pretty big show. I mean, it's just like I think the alerts don't go out like to where like that first 5 minutes is like, because like the thing is, I don't want to get on a roll, right? And then have everybody miss something or whatever. And so I think about that, but then I also think about all the people that click on afterwards, because I know the live shows are small or whatever. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for coming. Love you guys. Praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. All glory to God because he deserves it. Please pray for the children. Please pray for anyone being victimized out there, and pray for each other. It's important. And I will see you guys tomorrow, Lord willing, at 7 a.m. California time.